Michael K. Media is your host today for the Springfield History Museum Illumination Project. I have the honor and privilege of sitting down today with RatieD. Ratie, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. Michael, how are you?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this conversation. And so the first thing that I'd like to ask is, what is your origin story of coming to Oregon and then eventually making your way over here to Springfield?
Okay, well, I'm originally from Zimbabwe, but I moved to the United States in 2014 in a band. And so I have family that live in Eugene. And whenever I would be on break from my tours, I would come to Eugene, and I just loved the space. And then fast forward to meeting my husband, we then moved to Springfield, and our 2 children have been born here. So that's the deepest connection I have with Springfield right now, the fact that my children were born here.
Mm-hmm. What brought you from Eugene to Springfield?
Well, the price of housing, renting, it seemed more affordable to live in Springfield compared to Eugene for what we were looking for in terms of the size of backyard and the house and everything. So we decided, why not take a chance and try Springfield? Mm-hmm. And it worked very well for us. Yeah.
Talk to me about some of the main differences between Oregon and Zimbabwe, where you're from.
Wow. Well, I just wanted to say that I only started being aware of the fact that I'm Black when I came to the United States. Before then, I was just one of the citizens in Zimbabwe because everyone else around me is just the same skin as I am, and there's about maybe 2% or 3% population of people who are not Black. And so coming here, I realized that I was the minority, and that was a little bit uncomfortable. It's still something that I have to process every day. But I would say the biggest difference would be community, feeling like I don't really belong. Back home, it's a community kind of feeling where you go next door and everyone is happy to see you. You don't have to, text someone saying, hey, can we meet, in next week or something like that. You just go and everyone is very open and welcoming. So I feel like the difference is how people kind of just treat themselves or carry themselves as individuals, not part of a community.
Have you been able to find that sense of community anywhere here among a certain group of people or certain activities or?
I think for me, I'm so blessed because of the music. The music has put me in spaces where I am able to meet new people and connect even with more African people than I thought I would, because of the fact that I'm on this platform where I share music, and then people see me, and then people feel drawn to come and talk to me, and then we exchange numbers. And as the years have gone by, I feel like my community has grown bigger. And also there's organizations, mostly in Eugene, that are intentionally coming together to invite women of color and the children so that the children have play dates and enjoy being around each other. So the community is growing little by little.
Do you find those same sort of community opportunities, whether gathering places and with the kids or music and stuff in Springfield, or do you find that you mostly have to go to Eugene for that?
I mostly have to go to Eugene. The Springfield Library, though, has been very wonderful because I have been given opportunities to share my music with the audiences in Springfield. So that also has exposed me to a different group of African Americans or Africans that I do find even in the library when I visit with my children. So I feel like as time is going, the community or people around us are realizing the importance of coming together, so hoping that happens for Springfield more than it is right now.
Yeah, because that's a question I was going to ask later, but it sounds like a good time to ask now. Like, what would you like to see happen in terms of specifically developing the Black community in Springfield?
Well, I think it takes people like us, to take that initiative and to take those positions where we create the spaces for us to mingle, like for example, we could think of possibly, how can I say this? Maybe being the ones who hire the artists. I know that there's efforts indeed to include the people of color, but then there aren't many people of color in those positions who are actually doing the hiring and all of that. So it does have a sense of, like, I'm not sure if people want me to perform here because they love what I do, or it's because they want to highlight that they were able to find someone of color and, put me on a pedestal or whatever, so yeah, it would be nice to see more people of color in those positions of, power where we bring each other in.
What are some of your most impactful memories being in Springfield?
Well, having my babies. Yes. I was fortunate enough to be able to have my first daughter at a birthing center, which, is a very big thing to work with midwives as an expecting mother, because midwives kind of cut out the risk of, all the invasive medicine or, introducing medicine into the body. So the midwives encourage things to go naturally. So I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to work with midwives in Springfield, as well as for my second born. So it was more in the hospital at Mackenzie Willamette, but then I was able to bring my midwives with me in the hospital. So I'm thankful that, I had access to that. Mm-hmm.
Is that the more customary way to give birth back home as well, or is because you said everything's much more community, is it more common to give birth within the community, or is it more like go to the hospital?
Oh, that's a good question. It's more you have to go to the hospital, and for the longest time back home, people couldn't even bring their partners in the birthing room. So that's another challenge that the medicine, the medical section back home still needs to improve in that way, where they provide services like midwifery, where people feel supported. So unfortunately, that's not the case back home. Yeah.
Also, being that your impactful memories are having your children here, what are some of the things that you're excited about raising your children in Springfield, and what are maybe some of the concerns that you have raising your children in Springfield, assuming you stay here?
Right. Well, I'm excited to see the Black community grow. That's one thing. The fact that we are here, I feel like I've been noticing more families around me that are Black, small, but I'm hoping that as we, if we decide to stay here, the community grows. One of the challenges is, I remember one day at the park, my daughter, she couldn't find children to play with, and she came to me and she said, "Mama, I don't know if the kids don't want to play with me because I'm different and I have dreadlocks and my skin is brown." And so that was really hard to hear. like 5-year-old saying that, so that would definitely make me want to move. But then I feel like that's not going to be a solution. I think that the more people come to Springfield, I mean, I've had good experiences here, so I would encourage, people to come out more. If they are there in Springfield, they should come more out of their houses so that we can see each other and be there for each other, because we do need to see ourselves, just around the community. It really feels good when we come across each other in the parks, or in the store. I'm like, hey, trying to talk to everybody, so yeah.
I guess this is it's a related question, but stated a little bit different. But what do you think the biggest opportunities are here and the biggest challenges being here in Springfield?
I would say the big opportunities would be just to be yourself. I feel like now more than ever, people of color are having the opportunities are provided. So it's a matter of us taking those opportunities and making the best out of them instead of shying away, So I'm learning that as well as I go, that, if an opportunity is presented, I shouldn't second guess, my skills or myself. So trying to make sure that we go for those opportunities, I think it would help to take advantage of those opportunities that are presented, or that are there, but maybe we just don't know that those opportunities are there because we're not looking, or we're still stuck in feeling like we're not being included enough. So
yeah, because your family is supported through entrepreneurship, right?
Yes.
You own a business?
Yes, my husband, he owns Organic Roots, which is a landscaping company in town. So, just the fact that he's out there doing it, working, is very respectable. And a lot of people respect him, and appreciate his knowledge of how to take care of the earth, and which is also an avenue that isn't really explored much by people of color. So he's also trying to show that we can do these big jobs, or it doesn't have to only be a fancy, kind of job that will, get you to a position of power. He's doing pretty well for himself and our family. So I'm really thankful for that.
That's awesome. I feel like I saw something along the way somewhere where we were showing people how to grow their own food or something like that.
Yes. So we took a chance with building a garden back home in Zimbabwe when we went to the last visit that we had, and the goal of that trip was for me to connect with the community on the musical side, and for him to connect with the community in the garden, where we're trying to empower young people to grow their own food. And I feel like it's so easy to wait for things to be handed to you, but then I feel like equipping young people with the tools that will help themselves to grow their own food is going to be more sustainable at the end of the day. So that's how we kind of merge our talents, where I bring in the music, bring people together, and then at those kind of events, he talks about the importance of growing your own food and living a sustainable life. Yeah.
And then also you as a musician, don't just do it to entertain people, but you are a music educator as well, right?
Yes, I mean, I do my best to share my culture through the music. I hold some workshops, classes where I teach the language through song, and also teach people how to harmonize, which is a very healing thing as well, where people are in a group and singing together. So yes, that's my path, where music kind of helps me to release and also heal myself and others.
It's beautiful. Do you believe being Black has shaped your experience in Springfield?
Yes, I do. I strongly believe so because I feel like I'm fortunate enough to be here at a time where the Black people are people are making efforts to uplift us, and we are also having a realization of our own strength. So by so doing, realizing our own strength, I feel like it's really sitting in our awesomeness, in our queendom, and receiving, that receiving all the blessings that we've always been entitled to, So yeah, it is a special time to be here on Black because I feel really uplifted, and I'm thankful to the ancestors who worked very hard to make that happen. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't be sitting right here, or I wouldn't be out there, sharing who I am freely. So, yeah, it is. I feel respected. I feel loved by the community around me. So yes, I think people are realizing that we are amazing human beings. Yeah.
Are there some people in particular that helped carve the way for you to be able to come here? Like maybe some people from back home that came here like ahead, or like how did you first even get the opportunity to come?
Mm-hmm. So initially I was in an a cappella group back home, but then whilst I was performing with them, John Mambira, who was owner of Bongo Love, a local band back home, he wanted some backing vocals for his album, and so he invited me to, share some music, and we worked together and we recorded an album. And then a few months later, he was like, "Oh, we're going to the United States." I was like, "What?" Okay, I guess this is awesome. And so I would say John Mambira is the one who helped. He had been traveling many years to Oregon to do some tours, and then I was lucky enough to be chosen to be part of the band, and that's how we came out here to Oregon.
And do you notice Eugene, Springfield, is there a significant diaspora from Africa in this area, or there's like not that many?
Well, the numbers are growing, and I think we have the University of Oregon to thank for that, because a lot of Africans are coming in through the University of Oregon. So I would say that the numbers are growing for sure. Yeah, the numbers are definitely growing. I remember 2014 looking around and not really seeing much of us, but as the years have been going by, the numbers are growing, and we are also noticing each other and wanting to be there for each other. So it feels really good to see that those changes happening. Yeah, being part of those changes feels good. Yeah.
So this is for the Springfield History Museum. So we're making history right now.
Yes.
So, assuming that as a part of that canon, there's people in 10 years and 20 years and 30 years watching this and looking back at this moment, what message would you like to leave them with?
Oh, wow. We can. We're so capable. If we just free ourselves from our own minds, it can help us to really step into, a realm where nothing can stop us, and there's no reason for fear anymore because we are free. Our ancestors paved our ways for us to be here, and there's a reason why we're here. And so the community is growing. I feel like it's only going to continue to grow, and I feel like some positive changes are coming for this area, Eugene, Springfield, and I'm hoping that, we'll be able to see it, years down the line, like, oh, there's more of us, and we've made these positive changes, and we are in these places of power, so that's what I can say, that we can and we're capable of being those people.
I think one more thing too is because we're doing a lot of reflecting on the Black community and our interactions and opportunities and stuff. What message might you have for the non-Black folks around here in terms of it seems like there's more and more people that are open and curious, that they're like, it's almost like they get awkward when they interact with you, because like they want so bad to like do the right thing and kind of, like what message might you have to people that want to be more open and embracing, but maybe just haven't been around as many people of color around here?
Well, what I would like to say is, I think honestly it's more of a humanity thing. Like I'm saying, I'm from Zimbabwe, and there's a lot of tribal issues, where a certain tribe feels more superior than the other, and that doesn't have anything to do with the skin color. So I try my best to encourage people around me that I do interact with that it's not really about the skin. It's about how we treat each other as human beings. If you're coming to me with positive intentions, then it is all good. But then if you have some negative ideas or agendas, then it will get uncomfortable, and I think accepting what happened in the past will also help the people who are not of our race to know how to approach us with respect and love and appreciation of us as just as human as they are. So I would say just have positive intentions. If your intention is to love and to share, then I feel like there's nothing that can hold us back from uniting and being just a people more than just like Black and white. So yeah, just be more aware of the history, learn the history, know what happened, and accept it, and just be the positive change by showing love and being that light. That's what I can say. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you heard it from RatieD. Learn that history, come with that love and those good intentions, and we'll be able to look back at this moment, this time in history as a pivotal point where more uniting, more love happens.
Yes.
This is Springfield History Museum Illumination Project, where we're just shedding light on those who have some roots or have interfaced with the Springfield community, getting different perspectives. And today we heard from RatieD. It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you for having me,
Thanks
Michael.
for being here. Michael K Media signing off. Shout out to M5 snapping pics. Until next time.